I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, we have potatoes, we have onions, and we have Polish kielbasa. So let's make some pizza. Let's make a potato kielbasa pizza. Well, also, welcome to Twisted Eats. Let's go ahead and get started. We've also set out some other ingredients. I have over here in the corner, we're going to make some fries tomorrow. Those fries are going to be some dessert fries, something that you'll probably never see anyplace else. And then we're also going to make a Peruvian loaded French fry. It's got Peruvian chicken. It'll be absolutely great. We're going to start off here by peeling 3 medium-sized potatoes. All right, in a pot here, I've got some water. We're going to put about 1/4 teaspoon of salt into our water. We're going to cut these. It's about 1/4 inch thick slices. I'm going to place them in our pot. Now, if you like these recipes, we'd like for you to take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. We're going to have some really unique recipes on this channel. If you like more traditional recipes, we have another channel called Twist Mike's. You can give it a try. I know we sure do like eating all the food that we make for these channels.
Yeah, fried potato pizza is a little twisted even for you.
Yeah, this is a little odd, but just wait to see what's coming. I'm doing good. I haven't cut my finger off yet. Alright. We're going to put this on high heat. We're going to cook this until it is almost done. We will just want just a little give on that. Meanwhile, in our pan over here, we're going to add about a tablespoon of olive oil. Got 1 small onion. We're just going to slice this. We're going to kind of cut it in half here. Easiest way. Simple tip is, last thing you want to cut is that end with the little knot on it, or where it's come, the little bulb is. Makes it not as bad to cut. Doesn't make you cry as badly. Alright. Going to cut that thinly. Again, it'll be light to maybe 1/4 inch thick. We're then going to that, we're going to add a little bit of salt. This is maybe 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. Maybe 1/8 of a teaspoon of black pepper. And we're going to caramelize these over a medium heat. Alright, it's just been not that long. If you take a look at our potatoes, our knife can go through that pretty easy. So we're going to go ahead and take that off the heat. And we're going to strain our potatoes. And once we're done, we're going to put the potatoes back into the pot. And the pot's hot, so what that's going to do is going to help the potatoes dry off just a tad bit, because it's going to continue to cook it very slightly. We'll set that off to the side. Our onions are doing well. What we're going to do is we're going to take 1 of our kielbasa sausages here. You know, it'd be easier instead of cutting into it if I just use what's that open, easy opens area. No. I lied, I cut into it.
Are you sure you're old enough to be around the stove?
I don't know. I would say so. Alright. So we're going to take our knife and we're just going to take 1 of that. So we're going to, looks like it's going to be roughly 6.5 ounces of Polish kielbasa. And we're going to cut these into 1/4 inch thick pieces of sausage. We're going to stick this in with our onions because we want this to caramelize just a little bit on the outside. That's going to give it just a little bit of extra flavor.
You know, when you can't get into something, you get a 5-year-old
You
to
do.
help.
I know, and there's none around. All right,
They're never there when you need them.
pretty much. All right, we're going to place those at the very bottom. Let them cook. All right. Now, while those are cooking, speaking of age, if anyone could ever guess how old this nice little grater is, Mom? No guess?
I know.
How old is it?
Eh, unit probably close.
All right. So we're looking at, yeah, that's 2 or 3 years old. All right. So we're going to take roughly 4 ounces of Monterey Jack cheese. And we're also going to do 4 ounces of pepper jack cheese. This is going to be the cheese that we're going to use to put on top of our pizza. Now, we always grate our cheese. And that's just for the simple fact that if you use the one that's already pre-grated, it's got a lot of chemicals and stuff on the outside of it. It's got so that way it doesn't stick together. This right here, it doesn't, so it's going to melt much better. And not only that, plus it's just got a lot more extra flavor and taste. And then we're going to take these cheese and we're going to mix them together once we get them grated. Simple enough. And this little step, and this also allows you to do a lot of different cheeses. If you don't have one of these 2 cheeses, do something else. It's nice to have a little something with a little spice to it, just because it gives just a little bit extra flavor.
You can't have pizza without cheese.
That is true. Well, stay tuned to the channel, and you'll see we will have some pizzas without cheese, and they will be different and very weird. All right, I'm going to mix these together real quick, and we're going to let our sausage and our onions caramelize just a little bit. All right, our onions and our sausage are done. Take a look there. You can tell there's just a little bit of brownness on some of our sausages. That's kind of what we wanted. Got a little brownness and a little char on our onions. That'd be great. We're going to set that off the heat. Over here we have an onion. We want just a little bit of crispiness on our pizza as well. So we're just going to take about 1/4 of an onion. That's a small onion. We're just going to cut into little pieces. Simple enough. Now, we're also using a store-bought pizza dough. If you want, you can make your own, however you want to do that. We found that the Pillsbury crust thin and crispy is actually not too bad. So we're going to start off by following the directions on how to make that. So we're going to put our package in there. And we've got some hot water coming. All right. And we've got some hot water in that. And we're just going to follow directions. We're going to mix this up real quick. I think it's at 30 strokes. Those always seem to be suggested.
Are you counting?
I can't count that high. No, I'm not counting. We're going to just make it to where it becomes we want it to form a nice ball. So we want to make sure that all of our... Oh, we have a saying on the other channel. If you're not making the mash, you're not really cooking. Apparently I brought it over here as well. Okay. Let's go from this into a ball. Now, if you can make a pre-baked one, but whichever pizza crust that you use, you want to make sure that you par cook it just for a few minutes because before you actually put the toppings on it. All right. Cut that into a nice ball. Look at a teaspoon of olive oil. And then we're going to cover this for 5 minutes. All right, it's been our 5 minutes. We're going to take a cast iron skillet and we're going to spray with some non-stick cooking spray. If you want, you can use a baking sheet or a sheet pan. We're going to take our dough, still nice and warm and pliable. We're just going to spread that out throughout our pan. Hoping to make it to the sides.
That's a big pan.
It is a big pan. Now, what's great about this pizza, we were just discussing earlier, is if you have leftovers, which, you know, most likely you won't because it is very tasty. But if you do, you can always use it the next day for breakfast. Just add a little egg to it. Put it on top.
I think it sounds good by adding sour cream and a few bacon bits to it.
Yeah, that would be good as well. That's kind of our motto on here. Our little logo says, "Dare to play with your food." And you should play with your food. You know, you can create all kinds of cool recipes, different things. You can't be afraid of it. All right, we've got that at the bottom. We're going to take a fork now. And we're going to poke that about every inch or so. And then we're going to par bake this in the oven for 5 minutes.
How high do you have the oven set?
Well, for us, we have it at 475 is what our, for the Pillsbury pizza crust thin and crispy mix. All right. That's there. That's just to start the cooking process. Now, what we're going to do is add the ingredient that I put away on accident. We're going to put maybe that much olive oil. And it's not very much. We're looking at probably a tablespoon. And we're going to spread that across our dough. You can add a little bit more if you want, a little less. And on top of that, we're going to add just a little garlic. Now, we like our garlic, so we're going to say 2.5 teaspoons. Spread that out as even as you can across your pizza. We'll take our potato slices. We're just going to go around the edges of our pizza. Start at the outside, work our way in. Our potatoes are nice and being nice and they're holding their shape. We're both looking forward to having dinner. We've been outside working all day long. We've got ourselves a good appetite.
This would make a really hearty meal.
Yes, it would. Especially if you're from the Midwest. I think it's something that everyone from the Midwest is used to growing up on. Fried potatoes, little sausage. All right, we've got all our potatoes on there. We're now just going to take a little bit of salt and pepper and place on top. You can do this to tasting. It's just going to help give it just a little bit of extra kick, a little extra flavor. If you want, you can add a little paprika. We are not going to do that though. We're then going to take our onions and peppers, spread them out across our pizza. And then I'm going to take a little bit of fresh onion. Now, the fresh onion here is just give it a nice little crunch. Still going to have that onion flavor. Because I think with pizza, a lot of different foods, you want to have some texture to it. It just makes it that much better. Add our cheese. You want to make sure you get it all nice and mixed, your cheese, because otherwise you're going to have one side that's all pepper jack and one side that's all the Monterey. And we really like the cheese on a pizza, so we're going to make sure we put all that cheese in there. We're going to put this back in the oven, and we're going to bake it 9 to 12 minutes.
You missed a spot right there.
How's that?
Needs a little bit more.
All right, I'm going to put that in the oven, and we'll see what it looks like when we are done. All right, our pizza is done. Look at that. Look at the deliciousness of that. It smells amazing. It will taste amazing. I would say I wish you were here, but I really don't want to share. So we hope that you enjoy this recipe and subscribe.